This is 38 IZ videos. This is Val Tapia. Coming up, we have a special edition to our regular programming. And so we decided to do something a little bit new with this. And we're going to introduce you a new band called Granny for Barrel. And they're actually coming into town on Wednesday, May 30th as part of what's called the Year of the Bull Tour. And Texas Hippie Coalition, Cobra and the Lotus, and Brand of Jewels will also be on the bill. And tickets are available at marqueetheateraz.com. And without further ado, the self-proclaimed matriarch of metal, we have Granny from Granny for Barrel. Granny, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Real good, real good. Just a little quick, for those, and most of our viewers, it's probably safe to say this is new to them. So give us a bit of the origins of the band and its members.
All right, so Granny is a shock rock psycho circus, is what I like to call it. And we've been around about 8 years in some different configurations, and I think we got her all refined down now. But basically, I am your surrogate badass metal Granny you always wished you had.
And what would you say, well, go ahead and introduce the band members for those who aren't familiar with Granny for Barrel.
Well, my boys, I wish they was here, but they're all in doing a sound check right now. We're at the Agora Ballroom, but I'll tell you about my members. I got 4 of us, right? There's Granny. We got the Butcher. He plays guitar. We got the Maestro on fiddle and the Judge. He's laying down the law on drums. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. And what do you think the band brings to the sort of the hybrid of rock and theater? How would you describe Granny for Barrel?
What I always like to say is that the last time I checked, this was the entertainment business. And that's what I aim to bring. A spectacle. It's a shock rock, shock theater.
And this is the most current. You're probably on the 6th or 7th date of this tour, the Year of the Bull. What's the tour been like so far? And give us a little rundown of all the bands on the bill.
All right, so the tour has been kicking ass every town. Now we're about halfway through. I think we've done about 16 or 17 shows. And we got about another 16 or 17 to go. And we're on tour with Texas Hippie Coalition and Cobra and the Lotus and another band by the name of Brand of Jewels.
What would you say is the appeal to you of combining rock and theater, and who are some of Granny's influences?
Well, you know, a lot of this, again, it's the entertainment business, so it's horror movie inspired. It's got those roots. It's got old school heavy metal mixed in. And it's like a hybrid of bluegrass meets metal meets industrial.
And on the current tour, how you guys will be touring through June, like I said, are there any other bands who you would love to tour with Granny, and who are some of them?
Well, I could see us out on the road with just about any kick-ass band. I mean, a couple come to mind. I'd like to tour with Avatar. I think we'd do good with them. I think we'd have a ball with the boys from Steel Panther. I know that.
And
and let's not forget Papa Emeritus from Ghosts.
Interesting. And what about let's talk about the 2 videos that are getting on YouTube right now. And the first one with Freak Flag. Give us the making of that and how that came to fruition.
All right, well, as you can tell from what you see and what I've been talking about, this band is all about freedom of expression. And that's really the center of that song. Freak Flag, be authentic. Let your true self shine through. And, that was our first single that got released. And then we got the video up.
What
Been
was
out
the
about 6 months about now.
yeah? When is the full length debut album coming out? It's supposed to be due this year, later in 2018. Is that so?
That is correct. 2018, it's coming out. I mean, it's all finished right now. It's all mastered. The artwork's done. It's ready to go. So we're just waiting for the label to give us the green light.
Sounds good. And well, here's the new video I'd like to talk about a little bit. It's called "She Likes Guns," and this was directed by Stormy Daniels. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's Stormy Daniels. And Granny, give us a little bit of what the making of the video was like, and why now? Is it timing? Is timing the ultimate reason why you released it now?
Well, exactly. So I'm going to give you the story. All right. So we get the record done. The record's been done over a year now. Now, we decided we wanted to release "She Likes Guns" as the first single. So once we decided that, we said, well, we got to make a video. And then our label president and the singer of Jackal, Jesse James Dupree, decided, well, he had a thought. He's got a friend. He said, hey, Granny, I got a friend by the name of Stormy Daniels, and she makes rock videos. She's not just an adult star. I want to connect you two. So we had a connection, a few phone calls. Stormy and I hit it off and said, hey, this is pretty cool. So we went ahead and made a video last June. But then the radio gave us a little bit of pushback because of the provocative nature of the song. So then everything just got shelved, and we released Freak Flag instead. Now you fast forward a year later, and guess who's in the news every single day?
Right.
And I told the boys, hey, we got a video sitting on the shelf. I think it might be a good time to release it, regardless of what the radio decides. So that's why we did it.
Okay, so what's your opinion, Granny, on what would you say on the President Trump and Stormy Daniels court case? What's your opinion, and do you feel she has a credible case at the end of the day?
Well, you know, here's all I'm going to say about politics, because I don't want to get involved in that and mix it with my music. But I will say at the core of "She Likes Guns," it's about badass women standing up for themselves, getting justice, and taking down bad guys. Now, however you want to interpret that is up to you, but I think it certainly applies to what's going on.
Just a reminder to our viewers, we're speaking with Granny, lead vocalist for the band Granny for Barrel, and they're going to be on what's called the You're the Bull Tour, which comes to the Marquee Theater on Wednesday, May 30th. On the bill is Texas Hippie Coalition, Cobra and the Lotus, and Brand of Jewels. And you guys are coming on first, is that correct?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes when we get to a town, there's a few local bands that the promoter adds on, but I mean, as far as the four bands go, yeah, Grant is number one. She
Gotcha.
comes on first.
Gotcha. And talk us a little bit about the "She Likes Guns" videos. And there was a couple of other adult stars involved in it too. Why don't you go ahead and introduce them? And how long did the video take?
Well, you know, Stormy and I worked on the video treatment for a few weeks. And we had our whole act together. So when we showed up on June 7th in LA at the California Institute of Abnormal Arts, which is a cool rock club, we did it all in one day, probably 12, maybe 15 hours, shot the whole thing, one and done.
Did you have to fight with the label because you initially wanted to release "She Likes Guns" first before Freak Flag, is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. And what was the reason why they held it up?
Well, again, it's, you know, when you're working with a label, there's an assortment of relationships going on. So the label works with radio,
right?
And everybody's got to be in agreement. Now, if you get pushback from your radio promotion team that says, oh man, you know, I don't know if we're going to be able to get spins on Guns,
right?
Then the label comes back and says, well, maybe we should wait.
Right.
But now, because of the circumstances, we're just going to do it anyways. And the radio stations that want to support it are going to do it, and the ones that don't, well, then too bad.
Right. Hey, I respect that. I appreciate your honesty on that. When do you expect the full-length album to come out? Any date set right now?
There's no date, but definitely 2018. I mean, we're just releasing some singles right now and finishing up this tour, building some more, build a fan base and get Granny some more street cred.
Right. To go back to, you mentioned Jesse James Dupree. He's the lead vocalist for a band called Jackal. How did you guys meet, real briefly?
Well, our publicist, Chip Ruggieri, is the one that connected. When he met Granny, he said, "Oh, I know. I got the perfect person that needs to meet Granny because he's going to understand this." And that was Jesse.
And so I take it you guys will be doing a tour.
You know, Jesse is he's a bit crazy, so he definitely understands what's going on up here.
Right. And what do you think that the future of the mixing rock and theater will be? Because nowadays, even Alice Cooper says it's hard to shock people. How do you think it'll move going forward? And what do you guys bring to do you think you bring?
Well, the last time I checked, I never seen an old woman fronting a metal band. And so that's one thing I bring. But you know what? Again, back to the entertainment business, right? I mean, yeah, we might not be able to shock people like you could back in the 70s and 80s. But you know what? There's always room for original ideas and theatrical performances.
Right. And we're speaking with Granny from Granny for Barrel, and giving us a little rundown of what to expect on Wednesday, May 30th, when the Year of the Bull Tour heads to the Valley on Wednesday, May 30th. Granny, what do you want to say to your fans, and what would you say to people who have never seen Granny for Barrel? How would you describe it, and to get people to come to the show?
Well, let me just say one more time that I am the surrogate badass metal Granny you always wished you had. And when you come to my show, you're going to get a full show of shock theater like you ain't never seen. And we're going to back it up with some kick-ass music. I mean, it ain't just the look of the band, it's the whole package.
Right.
And I might even tell you a story in the middle of my set, because that's what grannies do, right?
All righty, and I'll go ahead and let you go, but I appreciate your time, Granny. I know you're getting ready to literally hit the stage at the Agora, which is probably one of the most notorious venues in the country. And decades of great artists have been through there. And I know you know a few of them who have.
Yeah, we're about to go on stage in about maybe 90 minutes. We're going to have a good time tonight.
Sounds good. Granny, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And sorry about the feedback a little bit. And we look forward to you guys coming to town. And we look forward to seeing you.
Well, I can't wait to meet you in person, and thanks for having me on your show.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too now. Bye-bye.